So you've been hearing the hubbub about the Kansas City real estate market and how much it's changed over the last couple of years. But you don't really like your house anymore, or it doesn't serve you anymore. So you're wondering, is now a good time to sell in Kansas City? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let's talk about it. Today we are talking about what the current real estate market means for people thinking about selling their home in KC. Let's dive in. If we haven't met before, hello, I'm Rachel Kilmer, also known as Rach the Realtor all over the internet. It's nice to meet you. Today we are talking about what the current real estate market means for Kansas City sellers. We're going to dive into 3 different things that Kansas City sellers need to know about the current market if they're thinking about selling. First thing you need to know, though, is that the market has changed a lot, but even with all of those changes, the average sale price has actually gone up by about 5.4% from this time now to this time last year. So the market is still solid, it's still appreciating, it's just changed a lot from the days where every single day we were setting new historic records. The number one most important thing that Kansas City sellers need to know in the current market is you must have a solid pricing strategy. If you were selling or thinking about selling or maybe buying this home a couple of years ago, that was a time when sellers could basically think, what price do I want to sell my house for? And then just stick it on it and it would sell one way or another. Those days are gone now. You have to be really smart about what price you sell your house at. So if you're thinking about selling, not sure yet, wondering if the current market makes sense for you, then you need to find out what is an accurate sell price for your house and does it make sense for you to go ahead and sell your house, especially if you have just purchased your home a couple of years ago. The math might not math, so definitely look into that. But if you decide, yes, I do want to sell, pricing it right from day one that you go on market is absolutely critical. We are seeing tons and tons of price reductions across the Kansas City metro, and that is because sellers are having a hard time understanding the ways that the market has changed in the last couple of years. So if you can be really smart about it and understand your specific neighborhood, your home's specific features, and be realistic about what homes around you are selling for, this can work in your benefit. It's a little counterintuitive, but you actually want to price your house lower than what you think it's worth because the market is very, very different now. In the olden days of 2 years ago, like so long ago, but back then you could throw a price on it, and even if it didn't sell the first day, someone's going to come offer you list price or close to it eventually, unless you are just totally in crazy land. Now, if you overprice it, it will sit, and you will end up having to drop the price probably below what you would have gotten if you just would have priced it at that low but accurate price to start out with. So we are seeing that across the market. The sellers that are being smart about this and not being overly greedy actually end up netting the most proceeds when they sell in today's market. The second thing that you need to know about selling your house in today's Kansas City real estate market is that you've got to incentivize buyers. And the first thing to do that is to price your house right. But beyond that, other things you can do to incentivize buyers are be flexible in terms of closing date, be willing to do a really fast close or a really long close, depending on what is best for the buyers, and have an agent that will communicate that to the agents that are showing your home right off the bat. That will set your home apart if the buyer knows walking into it, hey, these sellers are really cool, they're gonna work with me, they're gonna help make this easy. That's a huge thing you can do for your house. Other things you can do is offer to cover some closing costs. Sometimes buyers can afford more mortgage but are strapped for cash. So if you offer to subsidize their closing costs, that can help buyers a lot and help make a deal come together for buyers that maybe wouldn't have otherwise. Being flexible on those closing dates, again, a huge, huge deal for buyers, not only just because of convenience, but also because it again helps them kind of massage their finances in closing either earlier in a month or towards the end of the month to maximize either their closing costs or the amount of time between their lease or their previous home until their payments start on their new home. And then one of the other things you can do is offer interest rate buydowns. So the biggest reason this market has changed so much is because the interest rates have changed so much. Interest rates are scaring buyers off. So what can you do to get buyers to come check your home out and think about buying it? Offer to subsidize those interest rates. There's a program called a 2-to-1 interest rate buy down where you can help save them hundreds and hundreds of dollars in their first year. And if you offer that and market it, you could say, hey, you can buy our house with this much down and this is what your payment would look like. Here's how we're gonna help you and bring new buyers in. So those are some marketing strategies and different ways that you can help lure buyers in to make your house the most appealing one to them in the current real estate market. The third thing that you need to know if you're thinking about selling a house in today's market is that preparation is key. And what I mean by that is making sure that you have the cutest house, the most appealing house, the prettiest house on the market in your price range and in your neighborhood. Things that you can do to do that. Number one, clean up your landscaping. We gotta pull weeds, we gotta make sure everything is nice and tidy on the outside, make sure the front door is very visible, bright and clear. That is huge for curb appeal. Number two, you've got to stage your home. That doesn't mean you have to move all your furniture out and completely redecorate your home, but it means clearing off countertops. It means making sure that all the mirrors are wiped down, basic things like that. And again, a real estate professional can help walk you through that. I actually have a PDF guide called Staging 101 that I'd be happy to send to you. Just hit me up on the socials or slide into those DMs and I'll send it right on over to you. But that's step by step what I go through with each and every one of my sellers to make sure that their home is market ready, which is absolutely critical now that the market has changed a little bit. And the last thing about your presentation and your preparation is that you must have professional photography. That is a non-negotiable in selling your house in the present day and age, regardless of what the market is doing, but especially because the market has changed a bit. We want buyers' eyeballs to love your house from the moment they see it. In conclusion, there are three major things that as a seller that you need to know right now in the Kansas City real estate market. That is, number one, you need to price it right. Number two, you need to be aware of things you can do to incentivize buyers to purchase your home. And number three, you must prepare, you must have it presenting, you must have it right and tight and pretty for the market. So if you do those three things, your home will sell. It is still a solid market in Kansas City, and I would be happy to walk you through what these numbers would look like for you, how long it would take your house to sell, what you would need to do to get your house ready to sell, and then where do you move? Are you going to buy or are you moving out of town? We'll talk about that too. So hit me up anywhere on social media at Rach the Realtor KC, and we can talk about what all of this kind of hubbub around the current real estate market means for you specifically. I'd be happy to help. For now, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.